we all know that the SAG is on strike, the Screen Actors Guild, and the WGA has been on strike for over 4 months now. And recently, the WGA just made a really interesting statement saying that they would be willing to make deals with individual studios that are willing to break away from the AMPTP. Right now, the AMPTP is the organization, is the collective bargaining organization representing the major studios in both television and movies. Disney, Warner Brothers, CBS, ABC, Netflix, Amazon, all that kind of stuff, right? They all fall under the AMPTP. And the WGA is saying, look, for example, if Paramount wanted to split off from the AMPTP, we're willing to make a deal with them so our writers can go and do work on Paramount things. Now, some people in the WGA are saying that would be problematic because then it means you have some WGA writers working and others not working, and saying it would kind of divide the union. I get that concern. I do. I think that's a valid thing to bring up. I like that. But here's the thing. WGA is also making claims to their membership that executives from these studios are coming to them saying, we would love to sign your deals. This comes to us from IndieWire, who wrote the following. The WGA now says that they've spoken with executives who have claimed that the WGA proposals would not affect their company's bottom line, and that they're being asked to give up more than they'd like to as a part of the broader negotiations. Another said that they need a deal badly. It continues, other proposals the AMPTP says are deal breakers the Guild claims certain execs are willing to talk about. On every single issue we're asking for, we have had at least one legacy studio executive tell us they would accommodate us, the Guild wrote. Now, it needs to be pointed out here that this claim that the WGA is saying, we've spoken to execs from studios, said, we love all the terms you're asking for. We'll give in to them right away. The AMPTP has put out a joint statement saying that that's bullshit. That's not the wording they used, but they say this is completely not true, that they're saying this. Now, what we do know for fact is that there are several studios in the AMPTP that are more amenable to and more agreeable to a lot of the things that the WG is asking for than some other members. Again, I can only tell you that I've heard two of the big holdups in the AMPTP are Netflix and Amazon, whereas other studios like Warner Brothers, Paramount, Disney may be a lot more flexible to some of the things that the WG is asking for. But I have also been told in no uncertain terms, there's not a single one of those studios that is, as the WG is claiming, is open to everything the WGA is asking for. None of the studios like the writer room minimums that the WG is asking for, which is clearly them being out of touch with the times, to be honest with you. And I'm in agreement with the WG on 90% of the stuff that they're asking for. And I think 90% of the things that the WG is asking for would honestly be in the studio's best interest to agree to anyway. But I know none of the studios really want to go for the writers room minimums, and none of them like the way, I think the WGA is out of touch with they're trying to apply 1980s style residual models to a 2020s reality of streaming world that doesn't work the same. But still, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Rob, could you see a reality here where maybe the AMPTP just says to each other, because the AMPTP used to be great because everybody was doing the same thing, right? They were doing TV and movies. But now in a streaming world as well, it seems like you have some members that have certain priorities, members of the AMPTP, and other members of the AMPTP that have different priorities. Do you think maybe the AMPTP itself is outdated at this point? Do you think individual deals could be signed here?
I think you're right, because look, if you look at Apple and you look at Amazon, their primary business is not making content. Their primary business is Amazon is selling product that has nothing to do with movies and TV, and Apple is also selling their own technology. And so making movies and things is an adjunct to their core business. So they're not like movie studios, which has a core business, which is making movies and television. So already at the very basis of this, they are sort of at odds with one another, which is interesting and unique, because Amazon and Apple can actually afford to pay what the Writers Guild wants and not even blink. But because they're collectively bargaining, it can't be. Look, John, to answer your question, I could see this changing the business. If the AMPTP is in fact outmoded, and maybe they are. I mean, maybe it's time for people to ask themselves, okay, how is this going to work moving forward? The way that movies and television even exist in our culture has changed. And movies don't have the power that they once had, whereas streaming 10-part TV shows maybe are even more important than they used to be. So things are different than they were. And like you pointed out, they're looking at older models that they want to apply to paradigm shifting industries. And I think that it really, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the, I think what's happening here is you've got old school thinking and new school reality that isn't jibing with one another, and they have to figure out how to navigate this, which is one of the big problems here. And it's the longer that this strike goes on, I mean, at the end of the day, who needs who more?
You know, it's funny. Last night, what we were watching, thank God NFL is back. Oh, I'm not going to go into it. Sorry about your Seahawks.
Not a good day, though, in the NFL for a lot of people.
But, I mean, watching NFL, thrilled sitting down watching football again, missed it so much. But as we're watching football, I think we were watching the game that was on Fox. They started running a bunch of commercials for their shows they've got coming up, right? All of them were new game shows. All of them were new game shows, or some form of traditional game show or reality TV based competition game show. And we're watching all these commercials, and we're like, a bunch of us are there, and we're like, you know, the one thing in common with all these, none of them require WGA writers. They're all, and I think I think it's by design. I think that's on purpose. They're putting together all this crap. It's like, oh, we don't need writers on these. Here we go. We're going to make this content. And it's like, if that's the future of television, I don't want to watch TV. Because it's like, it was very concerning. But you know what? Chris often points out, this is exactly the type of thing we start to see happening during the last writer strike. That's what really brought on this whole new era of quote unquote reality television, was because writer strike, television networks turned to other things, and it's become a kind of a big thing. And it's like, man, I really want this writer strike to get resolved soon, because I don't want the stuff I saw in commercials yesterday is not the future I want for TV.
Well, and also, you know, we're in a position where look at the depressed stock price of whether it's Paramount or whether it's Disney, and the fact that movie theaters are precarious in their business models now. This is not the time where so many other businesses are affected by this. I think it's undermining everybody. It'd be nice to see this resolved soon.
Well, you know what? Disney and Spectrum Charter were able to get the deal made, so hopefully Disney and Warner Brothers and Paramount can find a way to get a deal done here sooner than later, but we've been saying that for months. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.